Hello, welcome to TFT Tarot for Today, Divine Dabblings with Oberon and Banshee, and this is me, Oberon, with my outlook on the emotional exchanges, a weekly program on Fridays where I go into what matters emotionally. So we do this by doing a reading for the elemental signs of the zodiac. So we're going to start off with the air signs, and I'm using the Modern Love Tarot, which I normally use here. So basically, we're going to see what's going on for the air signs, why it matters or why it's important, and where does it lead to, all in terms of our emotions. All right. So what is going on? What is coming to us? What emotional quality? And it's sad because, of course, it's the Five of Pentacles. It's upright. And the Five of Pentacles says, emotionally, we feel really out in left field. We feel ignored, left alone. Something's wrong. Why is this important that we feel this way at this time? Because, air signs, we are bursting with emotionality. It's spring and we want to find love. Whether we're married or in a relationship or not, maybe there's something more about love that we have not figured out yet. We feel like we just can't figure it out. So it's a time of emotional, I don't know how to characterize this, but an emotional timidity or fear of not really being loved, or just sort of insecurity, emotional insecurity. How will this resolve? Oh dear, it's the Three of Swords and it's upright. I almost wonder if air signs are having a problem with maybe something that they care about, whether it's a person or a thing they really love, but they feel like they can't get themselves there, and ultimately they may end up, really having bad feelings and parting feelings with people. So I am not very happy about that. But of course, now we're going to give us our shadow work. Not our shadow work, I'm sorry. It's a love affirmation. And that's with the Universal Love Oracle set. So I'm just going to do that real quick as I continue the Universal Love Tarot deck, which I love for this. Okay. Oh, we got this before on a previous one, the Earth Connection. Earth Connection. Mother Earth asks you to surrender your problem. She sends love and healing. Allow yourself to receive it. Open your heart and trust in the healing power of the sacred planet. Spend time in nature. Allow yourself to be nurtured. Invite the Earth's healing vibrations to flow through you. Breathe in her color and sound. Feel the rhythm of her heart. As your body, mind, and spirit are purified, imagine your problems disappearing. And I think that's nice. I think that basically there is an insecurity this week with how we feel about the things we love, and there's this possibility that things could move towards some dramatic split off. So before we do that, try to listen to the words of the affirmation I just gave and see if somehow you can find a way to reconnect. It may be down to literally meditation and big pausing. There's anxiety and things going on, and you're going to need to work on that. Okay, so let's move to the fire signs then. And of course, fire signs are Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Let's see what's up for them. what is coming towards fire signs, emotionally speaking? It is strength reversed. There's a test coming here for the fire signs where they may have to apply different things to resolving a problem or to moving us further to our goals, especially if they're emotionally related. And the trick right now is to feel that some things may be feeling like you have no hope other than to force something you want to happen, something that you really care about. And I, for one, would say this is probably not a good position to feel like you have only that recourse. So why is this important? Because there's a sense here that you can free yourself from some burdens. The 10 of Wands is reversed. This is saying that maybe there's a struggle going on with things that you care about and that you feel that you are bound in, and that maybe you have to use, something harsher, not necessarily compassion, to find freedom in this idea or this thing that's going on. Where will this actually lead to then? Oh, it's the Ace of Cups reversed, and this could be saying that if there was something that was beginning here, something you really loved and appreciated, there may be delays going on now because of what's moving here, and you may find that maybe you will just really have to have a different plan, especially if it's about something you care about or feel emotionally really drawn to. Sorry about that. I am sorry about that, fire signs. So let's see if any kind of affirmation through the universal love oracle set might help us here. Wow, it's more of the same. It's meditation. Your soul is yearning to communicate. Sit quietly and listen. Allow the light of your soul to swell in your heart. Pay attention to the guidance that comes through. Whether you are struggling to find a solution or gain direction, stop and take refuge. Give your mind the chance to be still. Meditate upon a loving thought, for it is through love that all becomes clear. And this, too, fire sign, seems like a lot of consternation or irritations of insecurity about things you care about. And it may be that rather than trying to push actions along to free yourself as you feel, you might want to just sort of stand your ground a little bit and use that time to just meditate, reconnect, not necessarily push or provoke issues further in this regard, but try to maybe sit with it a while and see what is really going on, or see what feelings really come forward and express themselves maybe in a more truthful way. All right, so now we will go to the water signs. Water signs are Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. And I thought I should mention that the Modern Love Tarot is by Bethany, who's done some other fine decks, and the art is by Lucy Morningstar. It's a beautiful deck. I just love the embossed goldish edges. Shiny. Nice. All right, so for the water signs, we ask the same questions. That first being, what emotional qualities or situations are coming towards you? Well, the same but different. So you got the Ten of Wands in that position, only it's not reversed. It's upright. And this says that emotionally speaking, something is becoming a burden to you. It could be a relationship that has really been on the last rungs anyways. It could be that maybe a relationship has just set some difficulties for you. Maybe, there's long distance things involved, or there may be other aspects that make the relationship a little bit more of a burden carrying it out. Maybe, imbalances or inequities between people in the relationship. Now, of course, it could be about relationships that have just started or that have been going for a while, but it could also just be about things we care about, goals or situations that we really love or feel drawn and attracted to, and yet somehow we now feel there's a burden going on there. There's something that's trapping us or putting more weight on our shoulders. So why is this important? Well, because we want to be free in a different kind of way, perhaps. We want to be free emotionally to have many choices. So water signs, this may be something about not being tied down to things that we care about, whether it's the latest fashions or something that's more outside personality, or maybe it is about personalities. I mean, so the example could be that maybe there are people who don't want to commit to a relationship, or maybe there are people who want to be able to experience a number of relationships or a number of relationship styles. It's a little confusing, but it is the water signs, and they are flexible, fluid, if you think about it, just generally speaking. So where will this lead to? It's the reverse Three of Pentacles. And the reverse Three of Pentacles says you may not be in charge of this situation the way you think you are, determining what you want to experience, based on how things are being burdensome to you. I mean, maybe the idea of the burdens is telling you you're wanting to bail from something because you really want to be a free bird, in some sense, or you're idealistic in some sense. But where it leads to looks like there's no cooperation. And so if we are talking about actual relationships where we're trying to say, let's change the script on our relationship, this may not be easily done between you and those partner or partners. But if it is just about other things, like the things you love, the activities you love, maybe, it may be easier to do that, but still that is what will be required, that you may have to really pull yourself out of a picture, decommission yourself, accept not being exactly in charge of that situation. So sounds like you could use maybe a little universal love guidance here. So let's take a look at that with our universal love oracle deck. Cards are sliding around on my table. Oh, it's the moon tree. That's beautiful. The moon tree. What could it mean? Moon tree. Ideas you once had are about to resurface from within your memory. Conditions are right for you to fill these ideas with positive energy. Expect positive results. The mysterious and somewhat peculiar image on this card is here to help you reflect these ideas. Know that they are well-founded, grounded within fertile soil. It is now safe for you to branch out. Enjoy the experience. So, despite how I thought things were leading, I think the moon tree is saying really that flexible nature that I was talking about may be the important consideration here, and that you may be dissolving one relationship to be free. That's what it kind of looks like now, that maybe this is about the water signs finding a way to change the status quo in a relationship, to either flip the parameters, to make it conditional, to change the relationship totally if need be. So that's what I have for the water signs. And of course, my standard disclaimer, this doesn't mean water signs or fire signs are breaking up. But it could mean that there's a potentiality for that, and that's the message you should take here. All right, so now we are moving on to the last quarter of the zodiac, the earth signs. Earth signs are Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. I know you thought I forgot, right? Or I was pausing for some reason. No, I was thinking about something else. I was thinking about how I may not have said what the air signs were back at the beginning. Silly me to think about that now. But earth signs, we ask that question too. What is coming towards you, emotionally speaking? Something you might be fond of or something you're actually loving, we hope. It does invoke the emotions. Whatever this card is, it should always be about how it makes you feel emotionally. And so for this earth signs, we have the Four of Pentacles. And I think the Four of Pentacles is talking about the supreme comfort of something you're involved with. It could be your relationship. It could be people in your family. It could be a number of relationships, but you really feel this is like sort of a protective stance you're taking over it, a stance of saying, this really is foundational for me. This is really something I'm holding on to. And holding on to is the key. You know, a lot of times the Four of Pentacles does look like it's a card of a person who's clinging to their material wealth. This is maybe a little bit more abstract, the image here, but I think it still works. It's the idea that what is coming towards you, you feel really strong enough to want to really hold this. You want to keep this. So it could be the cementing of a relationship or of something you really care about, the foundation of that. Why is it important? Well, I probably just told you that, but why is it important? Oh, it's another Four. It's the Four of Swords. And the Four of Swords says it's because maybe now that you have found this, you really need to chill with it. That earth signs, you have possibly found something you really want to hold on to, maybe forever. And so it's important because you need to really be healed by that. Whatever that experience is of love, of whatever thing, that will heal you. But it may also cause you to kind of be absent a little bit as you work on this process. So that almost tells you where it's leading towards, but that's really why it was important. Here's where it leads to. Two of Swords. Well, maybe, you know, the me time is going to be ongoing. I don't know. Being alone together, it's a stalemate card. So where it leads to is maybe once the relationship has really, whatever this relationship is, whether it's with a physical thing you love or whether it's a person, you may find ultimately that it just sort of puts you in a situation where you sort of have a sense of on guard with each other, or a sense of defense with each other, or a sense of just sort of holding back. It sort of reverts to the first card in a way, because the stalemate idea is sort of standing in place with exactly what you have. The only difference is that this is really maybe more finding yourself really wanting to have that. This is maybe just going to happen anyway. Okay, I think that's what I got there, earth signs. So let's finish that with our affirmation of love from the Universal Love Oracle deck. And this time I'm going to pick one randomly. Now looking. Oh, I like it. Balance. Bam! You know, this is all talking about balance. You know, we can't necessarily be alone forever. We have to interact. You know, love is a growing thing. It just doesn't happen and then it's over. Balance. Whether male or female, this card is alerting you to an imbalance of yin and yang, the feminine or masculine energies, which could be the cause of stress in your life. And when you look at that, maybe there is stress in here because you're really working so hard to try to get to your chill spot. You will notice the lady in the picture is trying to console the male, trying to get his attention. This image reflects the same imbalance within you. If you pick the balance card, then know you can bring balance to your life by allowing more feminine energy. This is the energy of creativity, sensitivity, and openness. We all have these qualities. This card asks you to draw them out and integrate them in your life. Express your thoughts and feelings freely. Above all, be loving and gentle with yourself. In balancing your energy, you also help bring balance to our world. And that's pretty much the way it ends up for the earth signs, and maybe a little bit for everybody, that in all things emotional, relationships, or just the things that we have a relationship with, even if it's not a person, balance. You need to be able to express both sides of a practical nature and a creative nature in these relationships. And so you have to make sure that you feed both of those natures. And so with the earth signs, you can kind of see where maybe you only fed one side. And so that could relate to moving towards this stalemate or imbalance. We don't want that, earth signs. We don't want that for any of us. So that's it for this week, the emotional exchanges. And do watch our other programs. Watch our happy hour tomorrow at 10 a.m. and watch Banshee's Material Matters on Sunday at 10 a.m. We have another live stream in the afternoon, 2 to 4 p.m. And then we'll start off the week again Mondays with Your Weird Week at 9 a.m. So that's all for this segment of the Emotional Exchanges. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.